Hi guys, I am back with my 3 in 30 minutes challenge, Shabbydabbydoodah alphabet challenge, and the letter is B for buttons. I'll just recap quickly what I did yesterday. So this cute little pocket thing to use that I might hinge somewhere. I made this envelope here, and I made this journaling card. And I also made, I did 4 because I thought I had made a mistake in the end. And then I made this cool little bag. So my next one to do is buttons. So this is going to be interesting. I'll put those there. And I've got my thing here, 30 minutes. I'm going to put it on and we will get started. Okay, I get a little bit agitated with having a timer on me, but anyway, I'll do my best. So not that. I need, what I thought I would do was buttons on lace. Now this idea came from Mrs. Cog. She had spoken of this before, and now I'm just trying to get my lace drawer. Here we go. I've got a whole lot of scrappy bits here, and I've got some scraps of antique laces in another bag. Oh, I should have gotten them out before I started. So why don't we do that? And I need this, and I didn't bring I wanted my embroidery floss, my perle one, but I don't have it. I have my other ones here. So I'll just grab those. I should have done that first. I'm just wasting precious minutes here so I can become a little bit more agitated. Right. Okay, so we've got lots of bits and pieces here that I might be able to use. And I've got my favourite buttons in here. So we'll look at those in this pretty tin. And obviously I don't put too many buttons in. That's lovely. I don't put many buttons in journals because they're bulky. And you know me, my journals are exploding. However, I thought this could be lovely. I think I've cut that now too short. That is now too short. That's not going to go anywhere. Let's have a look at this. So, just trim that bit off. So what I want to do is, the reason why the other one was, I shouldn't have cut it, was you need to leave that little bit open. Am I on? Yes, that little bit open there. So, I need a needle. Well, I don't like, they're very thick needles. This is the needle I'd like to use. And then I just need to choose a colour. I mean, this is going to be very quick indeed. Why don't we use this nice colour? And how many threads will I use? Well, I say it's going to be quick, but look how long I'm taking just to get my thread. So, yeah. So, lace, Mrs. Cog showed lace, but you could do fabric, so why don't we do both? So I'll take 3 strands. And I quite often like this. I think this is a number 8 needle here. That's my favourite one to go to use. Sometimes I will use a bigger, I don't know what number, tapestry needle if I'm wanting to thread more strands, or if I'm wanting to thread, you know, Appleton wool or something like that. So this is going to be a tab, as I said, to go somewhere. It can go on a journal, or now I need to capture. This will be interesting, capturing. Oh good, it didn't go through, so I'm going to stitch that on there. I think this is a great idea. So we'll make a couple of those. I actually think this is just such a fun challenge. Until I get to E, as I mentioned yesterday, I don't emboss. So I have to do something else for E. Embossing. She used embossing powder. Can I use an embossing folder and make, you know, like when you put it through the Sizzix and you get the impression onto the thing? Is that allowed? Should I do that? Maybe I should do that. I've got one. I don't have many of those either because I've never done it before. And then I'll have to think of the ways to use it. That could be it. That could be a thing. So there you go, got one of those done. Super quick. And that would go, I have a page over here. Let me see if I can find it under my list. Just say I've got a few pages that I had to take out because I had too much stuff. But basically you would glue them on there, and then it's a little tab in your journal. So that's idea number one. I'll do another one. I'll do one with fabric. What about one with fabric? So if I fold that, I could put a little button on there. It might be too short. We shall see. So if I get a little teeny tiny button like this one, or what about that one? That one's lovely, and it's quite flat, that one. And I'll put my knot. Okay. I mean, these ideas are going to be fairly simple. I might not even take 30 minutes because they're very simple. So what happens if you don't fill the 30 minutes? Okay, so there we go. There's another tab that will go on a page, just to give you an idea. So that's idea number one. Very simple. Simple, Simon says. Okay, next. What's next? So the next idea that I thought was pretty nice is, and I've seen that on the cover of people's journals, is to, I'll just move my threads out of the way, is to do a ruffle. Let's just put these back in here like I've got time. Is to do a ruffle. So maybe if I took that bit off there, I could ruffle this. It's not very long, is it? Maybe I shouldn't. Let me just find a fabric to ruffle. The hemp is going to be too thick. So that's not very long. I need something that's going to be a bit longer. So something like this. I'm just going to tear it. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Now you won't be able to see because my sewing machine is, you're above my sewing machine, so you will not be able to see. This is not a tutorial on creating a ruffle. I've still got my tanny browny acidy sort of colour in there, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to, I might zigzag. I'm going to create my ruffle. And I'm just pushing up just the same way I did the paper. I'm going slowly so I don't stitch my fingers. You've all terrified me that I might stitch my fingers. Actually, but my fingers aren't going anywhere near the needle, to be honest, because I, oh, isn't that a pretty ruffle? Oh, I like it with the brown. So the next idea is to put some buttons on here. So I need my threads back. Come back threads. There's a bit of stitching. I'm not gluing, am I? I'm stitching them because I like to see the thread in you know, through the buttonhole. So again, I'm going to choose buttons that aren't very thick. I'm not doing the button. The button. I'm not doing my knot the right way. There we go. Oh, totally missed it. Oh no, there it is. Got it. Okay. So I would like to just put a few buttons on a ruffle. Just go through 3 times. Now what I recommend, it's the same idea when you stitch on beads, is that even though I'm going to continue on to my next one, I'm just going to knot it, because if the next one comes undone, then they all come undone if you haven't knotted it. Now that's really thick, so I'm not going to use that one. I just want something that's not too bulky. Quite like that colour. Might do it in 3s. And then I'm just going to keep this. Oops. And if you're doing that, you don't want to do that because it's just going to gather it. You've got to be careful. So hold it like that so you don't pull it. That way you can tug at your button as much as you like. There we go. So, oh, got a thread through there. Oh, isn't this lovely? And I created the ruffle with just a vintage cotton that had, you know, it's one of those vintage tablecloths that I buy at the antique markets. So it's quite, you know, thin. And then this ruffle can be used down the side of a page. It can be used on a book cover. I don't have any covers that I've prepared at the moment, so I don't know if I can show you that. And I've got that one. Have I already used that one? Yes, I've already used that type. So something different. As I said, nothing too thick, too bulky. I might do that one. No, I don't like that one. I want to go light. What about a power? Oh, I like that dusty sort of pink colour. So that's the next idea. So I just need to pull it. Look at that. What a mess I am. There we go. Just put that there and then hold it with your other hand while you're pulling so you don't. Okay. It's a little bit fiddly. Right. So that's that. Oh, I like these colours. I really do. All my things come on. Well, that's a bother, isn't it? My thread unthreaded. Okay. Because it's not all the same length anymore. Oops. So the obvious thing was to do a button card, which is cute. And the other obvious thing to do is a little cluster, which I probably will do that one because I've been wanting to do those for quite a while. So I think I probably will do the obvious there. Or you could use a button on a paper clip. Okay, so that's that. And let me, just check that out. Let me just show you here. For example, this, here we've got my acetate thing. I mean, wouldn't that be pretty just down there to decorate that? That's what I think I might do with it. I'm going to decorate my little acetate pouch. There we go. Decisions. And you just glue it on, really. And wait for it to dry. And that is just lovely. And it could go up on the flap. Actually, it would have been nice on the flap. It would weigh down the flap too. It's pretty up there as well. So there we go. And you can do the same thing onto a page with these. Glue it onto a page or anything really. Okay, so that's that. I might put a little bit more glue under there. And under there. We don't want it coming off. And under there. Okay, so that's that. I do love these plastic acetate envelope. There we go. So that's that one. And then the other obvious thing to do is, no, it's not obvious, but what I wanted to show you was that you can also put one of these on a tag like that. So I'm wondering, do I want to put it on this tag or do I want to put it onto a different tag? I quite like it on a different tag, I think. And I've got some tags up here not tags, journaling cards, I should say, that I've got. So it might be pretty on that one. You could put it there or there. Or maybe I would like to keep it to put it on a page. I like that. So if I wanted to machine stitch that, I would have to put my zipper foot on and slide it over this way on the sewing machine and clip it in, and then I could stitch and it wouldn't hit my button. But I'm not going to stitch it because I've got brown in there, so I'm going to glue it. And hopefully it'll stay on there. So I'll put some glue there. That's too much glue. I'll just take some off and put it on the other side. There we go. And we'll see how we go with that. Now where's my... I need a wet one. Got glue on my finger and I don't find my wet one. Oh, what will I do? Don't know. Okay, so we'll just put that down there. There we go. Stick that on there and let that dry. So that's how I'm going to use that one, and I'll keep that one for something else. And I'm just going to go like this to get the glue off my hand. There we go. Right, one more idea. Woohoo! The next idea, what will I do? I wrote down a few things. I did the tabs. We've stitched them on to the ruffle. And what about a little cluster? A little button cluster. So we need fabrics. And here they are. We need lace. Oh, maybe we might like a bit of that. I saw it. Oh, what about one of these? One of these. Oh, and a bit of this. Aren't these things? I mean, and these are the types of things you could, like, you could prepare a whole lot of this, and then just cut. You can have a long bit to put down a page. You can have little bits to stick on things, like, you know, you can stick a little bit on there. You can put, well, you're not on that one, it's too small, but like, for example, this could be decorated. How pretty would that be with a little bit of a ruffle on it? So yeah, you can prepare that and then just sit in front of the TV and stitch it and make your little. So I don't know, I've never actually made one of these with a button because I'm always so nervous about putting buttons in, because as you know, my journals are always so bulky, so I don't tend to use them. So I've really got the bulk happening. Now that's a little button. Sometimes I like to use these on the reverse side. I need something bigger, I think, for this rather big elaborate thing. And that's one of my favourite buttons. That's fabric covered. It's an old button. I don't know where I got them from. Maybe in Australia, I don't know. But it's too big. It's too big. They're all too big. They are all too big. What am I going to do? They're all too. I don't want to use them because they're all too bulky. I like that one. All right. Well, I'll just use that one. It's not like I'm necessarily going to put it somewhere. And I need a thread. Oh well, I'll use this as already threaded. Why don't I use this? This is just a grey blue perlé. And I'll just use that because it's already threaded. Okay, so that will go there. And of course, I'm just capturing all 3 layers. So very simple ideas, guys. Here's nothing. It's not, you know, nothing extraordinary. I would be more inclined to use this on the outside of a journal because I've got this big chunky monkey button on there. So, oh, I know, I've got some little mini buttons. We'll get those. I've got time. I've done my 3 things. You see, I've got time now to muck around. Do some variations, maybe. So this one I would really use on the outside because it's a little bit bulky, in my opinion. And I need space to bulk up with other stuff. So that's that. I think that would go nicely on the outside of a journal. And it would be lovely on there, for example, but that I would want to put in the journal, and then it would be, isn't that beautiful? So I'll make another one for this. Let me just grab, I've got some smaller buttons. And here they are. This little jar I bought in Australia, $3. Some vintage buttons in there. So let's make something with those. I wonder if my needle will go through those. Take them out into the lid. There we go. I've been hoarding them. So we'll use a bit of this. And what else will we use? Not that piece, this piece. Maybe a little piece of this would be nice. I need to keep it smaller than what I did with the last one. That's going to be too dark, that one. Oh, look, here's a little heart that I'd cut out. That could be nice. And got some antique lace here. That's not contrasting enough. That and that. Nope. Maybe I don't like the heart. The heart's doing my head in. No, too many rectangles. That's what my problem is, too many rectangles. So, in here, I'm going to use that one. I do have other bits and pieces. But if I cut a piece of this off, that's going to be better. Yes, that's it. That's better. So maybe just two. And then I need to put a knot. Okay, and we'll grab a button. They're very old. Put that there. Oh, yes, it goes through, no problem. And you could attach this to a page directly. You can, a bit like what Creative Cafe Girl does, or you can, you know, attach it to a paper clip, make it an altered paper clip with a little button on it. Or you can do what I'm going to do and glue it onto your pocket. Okay. So I'm just going to, isn't that pretty? I'm just going to put that there. I wonder if I want a bit of that coming out. I think I do. I think, why not? Let's get rid of that's annoying me. So I'm just going to put a bit of this. And as you'll notice, I'm using my PVA glue just because buttons, they're a little bit heavier. So you just want to be sure it's going to stick down. Helps if you put enough under. There we go. And then I'll smoosh it all around over here. And I might have to put a little bit under the next layer. We'll just see when I put it down. And I want to put it at an angle. I don't want it going straight. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting glue on my nice mat. So then my next thing is, see, I don't want this lifting, so I am going to put a few little dots here and there under there so it sticks. Okay, cool bananas. There we go. And there's my little cluster. So what have we done? We've done this one. We did two clusters. Here's my other cluster. What was I doing with that one? Why is that one there? Where was that one going? I can't even remember. So we've done the little tabs. That's stuck down quite well. That's not going to come off. It's a little tab that you can put on a page, or you can put it onto a page, like on the edge of a page. So here's a page. You can put it on there, like so, if you want to. And then you can put it on a tag or a journaling card like I did there. You could even put the tab there on the envelope. Use it to open your envelope like that. So you could do that. I didn't stitch around there. I need to do that. Forgot about it. Okay, and then the next thing we did was we did the ruffle with the buttons stitched onto the ruffle. And then, of course, the ruffle, you can put it on the outside of a journal. You can put it at the bottom of a journaling card. You can put it on an envelope. You can put it on an acetate coin purse. You can do whatever you like with that. And then the last one is the obvious. We had to do one obvious thing is, well, another obvious thing, I should say. But with buttons, it's fairly obvious. I mean, you can glue them all down the side of a page if you've got room. Anyway, the last one was the cluster. So there we go. There's the cluster. That's one there stuck onto here, which I think is super pretty. And then here's one I haven't decided where to put it. Oh, I said I was going to put this one on the outside of a journal because the button's more bulky. So that's my only issue with using buttons in journals, is they are bulky. So or you need to have a really big spine, or you have to take out pages. Okay, so let's just have a quick look. I've got time. Let's just see, for example, any of these things that I've made in the past days. Here, nice pile here that they still have to be stitched and things. Not that one. For example, this. Well, this is actually going to be a flip out, but if that were a tag, that would be very pretty at the top of the tag. So these are going to be tucks. I don't think I've showed you these. Getting sidetracked. That's a journaling card. That's the right way up. So a little button tab on there would be really nice, just to give you an idea, or something like that would be really nice, but that's too bulky, that button. So just to give you an idea. So that's it. That is it. I've beat the time. Let's see. But I did know that I was doing buttons. I've got 3 minutes left. So there you go. You can see that there. So we'll put it in pause, and I will be back with C. What's C going to be? I've written it down here. C is cardboard. So I haven't thought about cardboard. I'll think about that tomorrow. So that's today's buttons. There we go. So we've got buttons here, buttons there, and buttons there. So I'll have to go and take a photograph. And and the button over there. There's the other button. Okay, so I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.